you taking responsibility to be the more committed to communication being effective. What that means is acknowledging, oh, she said this and told me a story. I asked this in response because I'm thinking this over here. She heard my communication and took it to mean I'm suggesting opinions, this, that, and the other. Someone is going to have to be responsible. That's a breakdown in communication because there is a task oriented intention. My intention is that inside of communication between us, we clearly understand each other, which means that I'm going to have my feelings and triggers in humanity. You're going to have your feelings and triggers in humanity. Somebody's got to lead it. I'm going to step forward and contain for. So I'm going to be committed that even if you get my words sideways, even if you hear something I did not say, even if you say something that offends me, I'm committed that we have a thriving, harmonious relationship, whatever you label it to. And I'm going to listen from, is she actually getting my communication? Because what stops you is the frame, she said this, I asked this back. There was no mutual frame. There was her frame or my frame. And because what her interpretation of what I said, her frame was, oh, I'm insulting you. I'm telling you need to take on this, that, and the other. And you're feeling that in response while it never was your intention. It's just ineffective. It's what's over there in her head. But then there's an ownership. Well, now I'm in your frame too. I don't know what to do because now I've offended you. Now I've said the wrong thing. Now I've got to get right. I've got to do better. It's my fault over here. And we're at odds. I don't want that to proceed. But what's missing is to get in communication with her. No, sis, that's not actually what I'm saying. I want to be responsible. And the responsibility is to what you're committed to the dynamic actually looking like. And what that boundary shows up like is it may be explaining, look, I'm here to hear you out. You've heard me. I don't want to be in a yelling match. I don't want us to be fighting. And it's a, in the feminine context, this is where some feminine delicacy comes in because you have to stay connected to what are they actually hearing and receiving. And so it's masculine containment with a feminine filter of what are they actually feeling, what are they actually hearing, and such that there may be times you say something and it flips somebody over the edge, it triggers them. You can let them know that you've heard them, and you can let them know that that is not what you are communicating. I understand how you feel, why you feel that way. However, I need to be clear that is not what I said. That is not what I'm communicating. That's the undelivered communication. You just said it perfectly. Historically, you have a line to, you have to hear it, you have to agree or be on her side about it. And if you say anything outside of that, it's beef and a problem. These are not interactions you even care to be involved with. This is not energy and communication you care to experience. So I'm going to ask that we compartmentalize. You take those conversations to other people in your world. When we interact, I want to hear about the happy stuff. I want to interact in these, and just having that boundary in place may be true. And there's the release to that's not your responsibility. Because there should be, there is no should. There's an opportunity for empowerment and freedom of, oh, great, we can let go of all this nonsense over here. And there's a possibility for this. She shows up to talk with you about things in this bracket. Those conversations, we're taking that out of our box. I don't want our dynamic to end up in this. Why? If she asks, well, I feel like this comes up, you feel that way, I feel that way. I don't feel like getting into all that. So let's just not. I feel it would be much better, much more constructive. What I am committed to our relationship being is if we do these things over here. Those conversations, truth be told, I don't want that. And then it gives room, see, with the clarity and the boundaries, now it gives room, oh, sis, I actually need that. I actually value your opinion. So if that's the case, great. So we're going to take it on this approach. You're responsible in the listening for anything I say or don't say. This is not going to be a I agree, disagree, or we're at beef and odds. I can ask, would you like to hear an opinion? Would you like to hear a suggestion? And if not, cool, I keep it to myself. And if you bring this to me, understanding that you want my support, help, feedback, you will listen without these typical outcomes and interactions we have. Otherwise, box that up, take it over here. That's no longer part of our dynamic. If that doesn't work for you, we're going to have to limit our interactions because I'm going to have to let you know those aren't the conversations that I want to be involved with.